Every morning, millions of Americans drop something in the toaster, wait for the click, and call it breakfast. Most of what comes out of it in the morning, the frosted pastry, the golden waffle, the cinnamon roll thing wrapped in foil, isn't breakfast. It's dessert that learned to set an alarm. And the brands selling it to you have spent decades making sure the box looks like a morning decision instead of a candy aisle one. Subscribe because we're opening the freezer doors on toaster breakfasts. Pop-Tarts, toaster strudel, and frosted pastry with an alarm clock. A Frosted Strawberry Pop-Tart delivers more sugar than a glazed donut from your local bakery. The glazed donut is the cultural symbol of dietary irresponsibility. It's what your doctor uses as shorthand for stop eating things like this. Most people treat a donut like an occasional Sunday morning indulgence, something you know is a treat and eat accordingly. Yet the Pop-Tart sits in the breakfast aisle. It gets handed to kids for the daily bus ride to school. It carries the implicit endorsement of being shelved next to the oatmeal and the cereal. It gets called breakfast. And it delivers more sugar per serving than the thing everyone already agreed was a bad idea. That's the fake. Not just that it's unhealthy, that it's been successfully mislabeled as a morning meal for 60 years. Kellogg's has sold Pop-Tarts since 1964. Frosted Strawberry, Brown Sugar Cinnamon, S'mores, Frosted Chocolate Fudge, Wild Berry. The flavor list reads like a carnival midway. Some boxes still carry the phrase baked with real fruit, which is technically accurate the way it contains real cheese. On a Cheez-It is technically accurate. The fruit is there. It's just outnumbered by corn syrup, sugar, and dextrose before it shows up on the ingredient list. Breakfast pastry is the costume. Frosted sugar rectangle is what's inside it. Nobody eats one Pop-Tart. Kellogg's packages them in pairs for the same reason movie theaters sell large popcorns. The unit economics work better when the portion is bigger than one person needs, and the product is engineered to make stopping feel harder than continuing. Eat both, which is what the package design invites, and you've consumed the sugar equivalent of 2 glazed donuts before your first cup of coffee. Except nobody feels guilty about it because the box said breakfast. Great value toaster pastries from Walmart and the Kroger store brand version copy the Pop-Tart formula almost exactly, trading the Kellogg's brand premium for a lower price while keeping everything that makes the original worth questioning. The frosting is the same color. The filling behaves the same way. The sugar load is identical. You saved $1 and changed nothing that matters, including the fiction that this is a breakfast food. Pillsbury's toaster strudel is the most theatrical fake in this category because it makes you participate in your own mislabeling. The laminated pastry shell comes out of the toaster hot and flaky. Then you tear open a small icing packet and squeeze white glaze across the top yourself. The icing packet is a masterpiece of consumer psychology. You assembled it. You made a choice about how much icing to apply. You were involved in the process. Surely something you made yourself is breakfast? It isn't. What you assembled is a mini Danish at 7 a.m. The only thing that makes it breakfast is the time of day and the fact that a toaster was involved. Take that same toaster strudel, put it on a plate after dinner, and nobody at the table would call it anything other than a pastry. That's the tell across this entire category. Pop-Tarts, toaster strudel, great value toaster pastries. None of these became breakfast food because of what they contain. They became breakfast food because Kellogg's and Pillsbury put them in the breakfast aisle, and the toaster gave them an alibi. Eggo, pearl milling, and the grid that forgot what it was supposed to be. A real waffle starts with eggs, not egg product, not dried whole egg, not egg whites reconstituted from powder. Actual eggs cracked into a bowl, providing fat, protein, and the structural chemistry that makes a waffle hold together on the iron and brown properly on the outside while staying tender inside. Add real butter for flavor and richness, whole milk for body, flour for structure, a little baking powder to lift it, salt to make everything else taste like itself. That's a waffle. Your great-grandmother made without a recipe card because it was just obvious. An Eggo home-style waffle starts somewhere else entirely. Kellogg's Eggo has dominated the frozen waffle category since the 1950s, and the brand is so culturally embedded. Lego My Eggo ranks among the most recognized slogans in American food advertising that most people don't stop to interrogate what's actually in the grid they've been dropping into the toaster since childhood. Enriched flour is doing the foundational work. Enriched means the wheat was stripped of its bran and germ during milling. removing the fiber, the natural fats, the B vitamins, the minerals, and then a handful of synthetic nutrients were added back in to partially compensate. It's a process that creates a stable, shelf-friendly flour with a long manufacturing life and a blood sugar response closer to white sugar than to whole grain. The egg content in an Eggo waffle is minimal, present enough to technically belong on the ingredient list, not present enough to make the waffle behave like a food with meaningful protein. And when you look closely at how that egg shows up, it's often not a cracked egg at all. It's industrially processed egg product that gets added to the batter by volume, not by the dozen. The difference matters. A fresh egg in waffle batter provides emulsification, lift, richness, and protein that behave together as a system. Powdered egg added to a commercial batter is doing a fraction of that work at a fraction of the cost. Soybean oil stands in for butter because soybean oil is cheaper, more shelf-stable, and butter can go rancid. Soybean oil doesn't. Natural flavor stands in for the vanilla and dairy character that real ingredients would provide. An Eggo buttermilk waffle is the same formula with buttermilk flavoring added. An Eggo blueberry waffle adds blueberry pieces or flavoring to a base that hasn't fundamentally changed. The variations are flavor decisions, not ingredient improvements. Pearl Milling Company, the brand formerly known as Aunt Jemima, runs the same play in the frozen pancake and waffle space. The name changed in 2021. The enriched flour, soybean oil, and sugar base didn't get the same update. Great value frozen waffles at Walmart, Kroger's store brand, and Target's favorite day waffles are all cheaper iterations of the same formula. They removed the brand tax and kept everything else. The grid looks the same. The toaster doesn't know the difference. Neither does your blood sugar. Whole grain claims doing more work than the waffle? The Health Halo waffle didn't change what a frozen waffle is. It changed what the box says about it. Eggo Nutri-Grain waffles are the most direct example of a brand using its own product line to create a permission structure for continued purchase. The Nutri-Grain name, borrowed from Kellogg's Nutri-Grain cereal bars, implies a category of responsible whole grain eating. The waffle formula adds some whole grain flour alongside the enriched flour base, reduces the sugar slightly, and positions the result as the thoughtful choice within the Eggo family. But enriched flour is still doing most of the structural work, the sugar reduction is modest, and the waffle still behaves metabolically like a refined carbohydrate because it still largely is one. Special K waffles arrive carrying decades of brand equity, built around weight management and lighter eating. Kellogg's marketed Special K cereal to people watching their figure for so long that the association became automatic. Special K equals responsible choice. That association transfers to the waffle box, without the waffle formula necessarily earning it. The protein addition in some Special K waffle SKUs comes from added isolates rather than from whole food sources, which means the protein is real on the label and less meaningful in the body than the same gram count from eggs or dairy would be. Kashi frozen waffles are where the health halo gets most sophisticated because Kashi actually does use more whole grain than Eggo. 7 whole grains on a mission is the brand's foundational claim, and some of those grains do show up in the waffle formula in meaningful amounts. But Kashi is still a processed frozen food with preservatives, added sugar, and a blood sugar response that doesn't match the wholesome grain imagery on the box. A Kashi waffle is better than an Eggo waffle the way a filtered cigarette is better than an unfiltered one. Nature's Path organic waffles add an organic certification to the whole grain positioning. Their sourcing is more transparent than most competitors. Their ingredient list is shorter than Kellogg's, and the organic claim is more meaningful here than it is on some other products in this video. But organic whole grain flour is still processed grain. Organic cane sugar still spikes blood sugar. And a Nature's Path waffle is still a frozen food designed to come out of a toaster in 90 seconds and taste sweet. The Health Halo waffle coming out of the toaster is still a processed frozen food built around refined grain, added sugar, and preservatives, just with better paperwork on the outside of the box. The fitness waffle that isn't quite what it says. Kodiak Cakes is one of the best brand stories in modern American food. Two brothers, a family recipe, a garage operation that became a Costco staple, and then a national brand. They pitched on Shark Tank, didn't get a deal, and grew anyway, faster than almost any food startup of their generation. The brand's whole identity is built around making real food that happens to be convenient, whole grain, high protein, honest ingredients. That story is genuinely true of the Kodiak Cakes Dry Mix. The bag of Power Cakes mix is one of the better convenience products in the breakfast category. The frozen Kodiak Power Waffles, however, are a more complicated story. The protein numbers are real. A serving delivers meaningfully more protein than an Eggo. And the whole wheat flour base is genuinely more present than in Kellogg's products. But a serving of Kodiak frozen waffles carries 8 to 10 grams of sugar alongside that protein. And the waffle format means most people eat 2, then add maple syrup on top. At that point, the protein benefit is fighting a significant sugar and refined carbohydrate load. The macros on the box are accurate. The way people actually eat these waffles makes those macros less meaningful than they appear at the grocery store shelf. Special K protein waffles run a similar calculation with less ingredient integrity. The protein comes from added isolates rather than from whole food sources like eggs or dairy, which means it's present on the label in a way that's less useful in practice than the same gram count from real protein foods. Protein is not a magic word that neutralizes the rest of the ingredient deck. A waffle is still primarily a carbohydrate food, regardless of what got added to the batter before it went into the freezer. How to spot a fake toaster breakfast in 5 seconds? Would you eat this for dessert? Serve a toaster strudel with its squeeze-on icing at a dinner party, and it belongs on the dessert tray. If the honest answer is yes, it's dessert. Does enriched appear before flour? That word means the whole grain was stripped out and synthetics were added back in to compensate. Does the protein claim come with a sugar price? Eggs don't come with 10 grams of sugar attached. Neither does chicken or Greek yogurt. If a waffle leads with protein numbers, find the sugar line before you decide you made a responsible choice. When the ingredient list actually earns the box. Van's whole grain waffles are the most accessible, genuinely cleaner option in mainstream grocery stores. Whole grain flour leads the Van's ingredient list, not as a supporting player behind enriched flour, but as the actual foundation. The sugar content is lower than Eggo's standard line. The preservative deck is shorter. Van's gluten-free line uses whole grain rice flour and a blend of other gluten-free grains, keeping the formula recognizable without turning the waffle into a chemistry project. They're not a revelation. They're still a frozen waffle that made different choices than Kellogg's, and those choices show up on the back of the box. Birch Bender's Paleo waffles make more dramatic choices. Cassava flour and coconut flour replace grain entirely. Eggs provide both structure and meaningful protein from a whole food source rather than an added isolate. The fat comes from coconut rather than from soybean oil chosen for its shelf stability. The ingredient list is short enough to read before the toaster cycle finishes. Their classic and buttermilk lines are less strict, but still operate from a whole ingredient first philosophy. Lower sugar than mainstream waffles, shorter labels, and a texture that actually varies between batches because real ingredients behave that way. Simple Mills. Almond flour waffles occupy the most stripped-down position in the category. Almond flour as the primary ingredient means the fat profile is monounsaturated, the kind found in olive oil rather than industrial seed oil. The protein is inherent to the almond flour, not added afterward. The sugar is low enough that the waffle tastes like food rather than dessert. These waffles don't taste exactly like an Eggo. They're denser, nuttier, and more filling, which is what happens when the ingredients are doing real nutritional work instead of just creating a palatable surface for syrup. Purely Elizabeth, Birch Benders, and the short label test. There are 2 products in the toaster breakfast category that pass every test this video has laid out. One for the pastry side of the aisle, and one for the waffle side. Start with purely Elizabeth grain-free toaster pastries. This is the only product in the toaster pastry category that looks Pop-Tarts in the eye and competes on format while using ingredients that don't require an apology. The shell is built on almond flour and cassava flour instead of enriched white flour. The fat comes from coconut oil instead of soybean oil or partially hydrogenated anything. The fruit filling uses real fruit and a modest amount of coconut sugar instead of corn syrup and dextrose, doing an impression of fruit flavor. The whole thing goes in the toaster, comes out hot and flaky, and delivers the same handheld morning experience as a Pop-Tart without the sugar load that makes a Pop-Tart more donut than breakfast. The ingredient list is short enough to read before the toaster cycle finishes. No natural flavor patching over the absence of real ingredients. No frosting packet engineered to make you feel like you assembled something. Is it identical to a Pop-Tart? No, it's less sweet, which is the point. If your benchmark for a good toaster pastry is how much it tastes like dessert, Purely Elizabeth will disappoint you. But if you want a toaster pastry in the freezer section that doesn't lie about what it is, it's the only that qualifies. Then there's Birch Bender's Paleo Waffles on the waffle side, where Eggo uses enriched flour and soybean oil as the foundation and works backward from there. Birch Bender's starts with cassava flour, coconut flour, and real eggs, ingredients that have no stripped-out nutrients to compensate for because nothing was stripped out in the first place. The eggs in a Birch Bender's waffle provide real protein from a whole food source, creating the structure and lift that makes a waffle hold together on the iron, and delivering the richness that soybean oil and natural flavor spend their entire careers trying to approximate. The fat comes from coconut. The sweetness is low enough that the waffle tastes like a waffle, not like a vehicle for syrup. Pull one from the freezer and drop it in the toaster, and it comes out with the same crisp edges and warm center as anything Kellogg's makes. But the ingredient list is so short and so recognizable that you could read it to a 5-year-old without a single word requiring explanation. These two products don't cover every format in the toaster breakfast aisle. They won't satisfy someone whose specific sugar hit is a Frosted Strawberry Pop-Tart or the icing packet theater of a toaster strudel. But for anyone who wants a real toaster breakfast, Purely Elizabeth and Birch Bender's are proof that the format doesn't have to be fake just because it's convenient. The toaster can handle real food. These two finally gave it some. Same toaster, completely different food. Here's what the frozen waffle aisle doesn't want you to calculate. The dry Kodiak Cakes Power Cakes mix, the bag, not the frozen box, makes a genuinely better waffle than anything in the frozen section. Add water, stir, pour into a waffle iron. Whole wheat and oat flour, real whey protein from dairy. No preservatives because nothing needs preserving when you're making it fresh. Make a double batch on Sunday while the coffee brews. Cool them on a rack, stack them in a freezer bag, and put them in the freezer. Monday through Friday, drop one in the toaster. Same 90 seconds as an Eggo, completely different food on the other side. For parents feeding kids every morning, the Kodiak Mix Move costs less per waffle than a box of Pop-Tarts and delivers a fundamentally different start to the day. For someone in their 60s watching blood sugar and trying to build a morning that doesn't spike before 8 a.m., the difference between a homemade whole grain waffle and an Eggo buttermilk isn't marginal. It's the difference between a food with protein, fiber, and intact grain, and a food built around enriched flour and sugar that the body processes like a soft drink. The toaster didn't betray you. The food industry figured out that whatever goes into the toaster gets called breakfast by default, and built 60 years of product around that assumption. Pop-Tarts and toaster strudel are dessert with better PR, but Vans keeps it cleaner than Kellogg's ever has. Birch Bender's and Simple Mills treat the waffle as a vehicle for real ingredients instead of a platform for enriched flour and industrial oil. And if you want to take breakfast into your own hands, the Kodiak Mix on a Sunday morning beats the frozen box version of itself by every measure that matters. Start putting something in it that's actually worth heating. Comment B2E if you made it to the end. Thanks for watching.